Alright, we're back to the video. Okay, we wanted to practice some UI design here and code behind things, which will lead us to MBVM. Okay, so we've run this. This is what we have. After running the application, I want to be seeing what is going to be happening here. So let's just do something like this, for example. So please, from here, these labels, all these labels, we don't need them. Let me just allow only one to be here. So you'll be seeing the hot reload. This is what we have. The frame here is colored blue, yes, and it's written this. So you can, if you like, you can change it to, let's say, for example, understanding UI. Maybe that's the name of our project. Okay, I have to terminate. You see, these things are nothing like the normal what do you call it, HTML things, you know. Let me remove this so we understand what we're doing correctly. Even this, let it go. Okay, is it part of the frame? Like I've removed part of the frame, right? Okay, so this frame must be terminated, right? So nothing is in the frame. Now if you want to write something, since you're not collecting anything from user, you now write label. Please look at something I've done here. Let me for that magnify this so we understand it. Where is the magnification? Anyway, I think it's visible, right? Okay. Things here are like the HTML, the XAML, right? So if you write this less than sign, these are things you can write. Many of them. These are things that can be used within the page. So we needed a label, and this label, you know, we can close it using, you know, double tag like this, or you can close it within just one tag. Since it is something you're going to write, you don't need to waste time writing a double tag, all right? Then you write your whatever you want. Understanding Xamarin UI, for example. So as I'm writing, you see it's appearing there. But if you look at it, many things are not. It is not centralized. It is not having any color. It is not. You know, you really want to do all that, and the font size and all that are not really. So if you want it centralized, you do all that yourself. If you want to centralize it, you now say horizontal option. If you say center expand, it will be expanded within the center, right?
Yeah.
Then if you want to give it a kind of font size, you can type. I can say 45. No harm. You can also write something, title, something predefined. Okay, let's say 30. All right, then if you want to give it color, you color it. Okay, somebody suggested white. If you need attribute of font, then you do what? Let's say bold, for example. Okay, this is red, not white. If you want to bold it, for example. So all these, any changes done on UI, it is dynamically done by hot reload. You see the effect. But if it is on .cs file, you have to reload or rebuild. Okay. So this is that about the something. This is like the big header for you. That's the frame. So then what we have on screen is we need what? An entry. Okay. Sometimes you do this to entry if you want to write many things here. Okay. If you want to give it placeholder, you write placeholder here. This placeholder displays as a guide to the user what you should write. You can write maybe supply. Student name. Supply student name. And you see it is written here. But if you click on it, once you start typing, it disappears. It is just a guide for the user. Instead of you writing letter, you do that. Then what we wanted to do was to introduce this and okay, then let's say it has, let's say, font size. Let's just talk about font size so we don't waste time here. The size of the font, let's say large. For example, see it has increased. Then next we need a button. That is the text for the button is what? Display. Right? And you want to give it color or something. Now if you look at it, there is no any distance, I mean no spacing, no padding. This is our design, we did not put anything, layout. If you can introduce something stuck here, then it will be better. Since we're not going to design it much, it is the connectivity of the component we are interested in. If I can move this entry here. So here I can introduce padding. If I say 20 and I kept quiet, it means 20 all round for the what? For the whole four corners. Okay? And if I want to introduce another stack, I can do that, but I can still pick this button into this same stack. But if I do that, I have to specify the distance between the two components I'm rendering here. Maybe I say spacing here. Okay? What kind of space? If it is 20, for example, you see the space here. It has increased to 20. Yeah, let's give it a color, maybe background color. A ground color, let's say blue, for example. and then the text color has to be something either white or anything. So then the expectation is when I click on this display, something occurs. We want situation whereby when you click on it, it displays something on the label. A label has not yet been written here. So maybe we introduce another thing here, which is a label. And this label, we do something here. What is the name of the label? That is text. Sorry, not name. What is going to display? Okay. We can just not necessarily, since it is when it has been triggered, then something occurs. But then we want to see label there. We want to see. Let's just say just approved. Okay, no, it's when we click, we define what we want to see there. Let me just say a displayed label. I don't know whether you understand what I'm doing. This label for now, it has nothing to show up. So the font size is what? Let's give it a big font size so we see it clearly. So we want to collect name here and then display it here. You know, this is a simple functionality, right? It's a simple something, but here we display the name over from here, right? So let's give it something layout. For example, right? Purple. Someone is suggesting purple. All right. So when I click something up, this now is redundant and it doesn't trigger anything. So for you to trigger this now, what do? You need to come over here. Where is the label here? I mean button. Then you create. There's something called clicked. Okay. Then you write what is going to handle the event, the method you want to use in the code behind, and the code behind is the .cs. Let's say display method. So if I want to maintain this now, you see it has underlined it. It's telling you that method understanding this display method not found. It's true, it is not found in any way. So you now move to where? Go to .cs of the same page you're working on. Right? So come here. This is the .cs, right? Come to .cs and then you write here. So in here, I'll stop the emulator from running because it's not going to work on hot reload. So you stop it. So you concentrate on what we're going to do here. So the main page.cs and the main page.xam. We're done with the .xam where we have done our design. Then we want to write functionality here. I think this is where we've written something. All right. So this is where you're going to write, commands. C# codes that will handle your button click. We are supposed to be seeing this. Let me run it again. I was supposed not to just stop it. You need to have a picture of what we're doing. But then I've copied the method name. I can just continue saying public void. Sorry, before then, this is the Xamarin page. The .cs of .xam. The .cs of main page.xam. This is the main page.xam.cs. This is where you write your business logic. Your functionalities are to be written here. They are already connected to this form, to this where UI is written. Okay, it's complaining about that here. It's complaining about this button. This, it doesn't know anything regarding it. If I remove it, I reload, and I rerun, it will work. So please, before it finishes running, please understand the something here. This is it tells you that you're going to be using what? XML, and then here the content page starts, and you have the namespaces here. You're introducing all these things. This is the version of the XML you're going to be using, and you're introducing this. These are all libraries, big packages, libraries that enable you to write your UI. You don't need to do anything, any work that has been done for you. Then here, this is a prefix. This it's referring to a given class. What class is it referring to? Alright, it's running. You see here, it's referring to you that it's telling you that this XAML file is connected to a given class inside this folder of the project, and the class is called what? Main page. And that main page, it is the main page of what? The XAML. That's why if you come to the .xam.cs, not only .xam, if you come to the main page .xam.cs, can you see the name here? If you tamper with this name, maybe you add one here, or from there, it tells you that it doesn't know about it. You see underline here. If you try to if you hover your mouse around here, it's telling you that what wasn't found because it's not known. So this is connected to the class of the .cs you are connecting the .xam to. Are we understanding? Then from here the stack starts, and by stack you will be placing one component on top of another one. Yes. So now I just want to get the snapshot of this. So we'll be referring to it here. This is just what I wanted. Okay. Sorry, let me crop it so we will have less space. Alright, good. So back to the code now. I will stop the emulator from running. So back to our XAML file here. We have explained the reason why we have all this already. and I've already introduced something here. Is it? This is what I want to use. Then you go to the code behind, which is the .cs of same file name. Then you introduce a method public. Why are we making it public? Because we are accessing it from another class or from another resource. Public void. Why is it void? It's because it returns nothing, right? So this is the method. Is it different from the method you've been writing in Java? It's not. So then you write, but then this is a parametric method where you first of all introduce an object, and this object is called what? This object is called sender, and action event, right? Did action event? Huh? No, it's not acts. Sorry, event acts. And this event acts, you can use acts here. Then you write you know, this has connection with the button here. The button here, we have clicked. This is an attribute, and then this is what? This is the method. So I've written the method here. So whenever the click button is clicked, it triggers event within here, right? So very simple. But then if you look at here, we want to make use of the entry here, entry field, so that somebody enters something and then we collect information from there. So we need to know there's something called text here. I'm not going to write anything because we don't need it now. Someone will come to bind it. I don't know whether it will allow it as it is like this. But then I want to have a name of this text from code behind, such that whenever I use it, if I want to manipulate on it, I use such. So the name here, you have to preface it. You know, you already have used your preface here to become what? Text. So if I preface it, then I can access. This is like a kind of connection. It's like kind of like you can see bind, but not really binding, but it's connection between the two pages, XAML and C. Okay. So then we have many of them, but we need name. So you give it a name. Let's say entry name. So from code behind, I can access this. Okay. So also the label. Because I want to be setting text on label. So then I say X, I prefix it, name, and I will say display label, for example. Are we there? Then you go to this .cs, and then first of all, let me use string. For example, string name. I want to collect that name in the user is going to enter. Entry what? Entry name. If I terminate like this, it's a problem. It tells you that this is a string and this is not a string. Look at it. You cannot implicitly convert type from Xamarin forms .entry to string, because what I wanted collecting is from the Xamarin form. It's an entry field from Xamarin form. Now this one, this is a string, a local variable. So you have to convert this to what? .text. Then issue solved. So now here, what we are telling you is that whatever user enters there, it is what? It is good. Now let's try something before writing on the UI. Let's write on console. Can we write on console? Yeah, it is possible. We can write on console. So you can now say write. Sorry, console. I'm sorry. You know, we used to Java. I wanted to say system.write in Java programming. Right. This is console that what? Console that the write element. A very similar something. Console.write line. System.out.print element. This is what we do in what? In Java. But this one is console.write. Write element. You know, write line means what? It creates new line for you. Okay. Then you introduce what you're going to write there. Okay? Since this is kind of a variable, you don't need any code here. But then our result is going to be shown where? And where? On the what? On the output, which is the console. So then let's write. Let's read. Let's run. It won't take time. Already our emulator is on. It will just load the application on it and update all changes. And you see, actually, one has to be very careful. You need to understand these basic things. Right, our emulator has started, and it is running the application. All right, it has run. Of course, emulators are very, very slow. Let me write Victor as the name. Then I click on what? Display. Where are you expecting to see something? It's here on the console, not on the UI. It's been clicked. Where is the output? Output is here, right? Can you see? Let's, instead of saying Victor, let's write I am a student of Cloudsoft Consulting Academy, for example. Then you click. Okay, it's not even, the spelling is not correct. Can you see something here? You see here, it is being displayed where? The console. I don't know if you can do something. Is it possible for us while I'm typing it is displaying?
Yes.
Anywhere. Not possible? Huh?
No.
Huh?
I don't think it's possible. Yes.
No, it's possible. It's depending on your functionalities. In here, there's something called text. Is it text change or something? I think on the field here, there's something called is it change text or text change? Okay, where is it here? Text change. This now. Understand? But then kind of something you're going to give it is different from .x. It's still standard, but then something. You can try it, please. Okay, we shouldn't digress from what we're doing. So here, this what we wanted doing is to collect. When we send it from here, we get it displayed on the UI. You just set the something. What is it called? Go to the CS here. The CS. Instead of console, that's not what we want, right? Let me stop it since we're not going to use it. Instead of this, you comment it, and then you do what? You now call the label you want to set on. The label, this is name, code behind name of the field. So this is the name for the something, call it. This is it. Then you just right? Okay, you have to convert it to text first. Then you now say what? Name. So what have you done here? That means you have code, you have collected something from user, and you have done what? You have now set on a particular component or control on the UI. And this is it. Let it run. For example, if this is what we have written, can you see when I click, it displays on what? On the UI. So you see, they are now you just added functionality. Now all that you are doing is set it around and one single thing, just from UI, from source to where? From the source, from the UI to the code behind, and from code behind to the what? Back to the UI. Now, it's not always possible that you update your application, your UI from the interface. You update the application from interface. You could update it from the view model. That's what we are going to look at. That is the MBVM, the pattern design, and the what? The binding. How do we get this populated from UI? Now we're going to discuss the connectivity, how we're going to connect the binding context, and so many other things we are going to do, and then the importing or using of the component from one place to another place, and from the UI and to the main page and all that. I hope this gives you an idea or information, good understanding of what we've been doing. Virtually all that we've been doing in Java is somewhat possible here. Now let's look at something. On the UI here, we have introduced a UI here, is it not? Can we introduce components from the code behind to the UI? Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Yes, we can do that. We can create component from UI and add it on component, and then. So let's try that one. I think with that you understand fully what we're doing. Then tomorrow we start the binding. So let me stop this. Before I stop, I'm going to add another stack here. Then we're going to work based on the stack. So I will stop here. I stop it. I stop the emulator from running. Please, how many stack do we have here? Stack layout. It's only what? One. So please, let's create another one. After this, we're going to close. We're going to call it B. Right? This is stack, right? I want to make use of this stack. Please, let's understand this. If I want to call it from the code behind, I have to give it a name. Is it? Name. Let me say stack 2, for example. Huh? Very simple something. Is it? Then I want to also create, let's come to the, here, what do you call it? I want to create a label. From where? Code behind. Start from, and insert into the stack. And then insert something inside it. I don't know if you are understanding what I'm doing. So, the first thing I want to do is to create what? A label. And to create a label, I will now say label. How do we create label in Java? It's something. Let me say LBL. Let's understand it very well. Let me say LBL inside stack. Just for us to understand what we're doing, right? Equals to new what? Label. Is it not how we do in Java? Is it different? It's not. I want this label to also contain whatever that is being inserted into the UI here. Whatever that is being inserted into the entry here, I want it inserted into that. Are we understanding? So what do? We need to call the what? This name, right? Since it has been collected from name entry. So the label here, this is the label, right? So I'll now say it equals to what? Just name. But then I have to local variable string name. Okay, the text. Right, so is it? Because as it is here, it is a label from UI. Forms, Xamarin Forms label. You need to, if you want to make use of it, you want to set a text on it, you have to convert it to text, then it accepts. Because we are setting on it. But then, this, what do you call it? This stack, right? I have to introduce something called children. Dot add. Please, can you recall how we've been adding panel? How we've been adding components on panel? Yes. This is something, but here we don't say component. We don't say panel. Please understand something here. Please, by convention or reality, this content is a container, right? Yes. Is it not? It contains some, like this one contains button, label, or whatever. So all these things that are inside the cutting, the stack, are called children of the what? Of the stack. Are we there? So that's why I said that I'm trying to add children on the stack, and then first they just one child, which is what? This label I've created. And that's all. Let's run it and see. somebody who has studied Java, actually C#, it's going to be very simple because they have many similarities. But you know, in Java, you have to define each and every variable you're going to use, and you have to state. Let me see. Xamarin with C#, right? Then I click on what? Display. Can you see it here? But it's very tiny. So let's go back there and give it kind of, yes, you understand now. And like people have started understanding what we're doing. Yes. So before we set it in here, we now give it what? We now say what? Font size, let's say 50 or even 60. Let's say very bold. I don't know whether it is it's okay. It's from the code behind. You know, we'll have to reload or rerun the application. If you want to give it color, you can also give it something text color, right? Is it text color? Say whatever color. Can we see? Huh? Red. So you see it very well, right? Color.red. So let's reload. Here I don't need to stop. Since it is being run, I can just what? Reload. Then you look at what is going to happen. Thank God that we have covered it in the video. I will send the video immediately after, and after the class. Is it true that we covered? Yes, it is being covered. It would have been something different. All these. Mr. Victor, a professional Xamarin developer. Alright, then you click on something and can you see? It's not a magic. Alright, let's stop our video. Stop our video here. Thank you for watching.